Commanders Nation, Burgundy Ballers, welcome back to a Misery Monday, Terrible Tuesday, Ridiculous Wednesday, whatever you want to call it, here at the Ballin and Burgundy podcast. Yeah. And guys, what in the actual was that game? 37-3, absolute domination, absolute violation. We got outclassed, out-coached, straight up asses kicking, old school ass. We looked like Colorado and they were Oregon. That's how bad it was. But look at all that. Andrew, Chris, what's up, guys?
Horrible Monday.
Sitting in our misery.
Just
At least we weren't in Denver, though.
yeah. At least, I mean, we still lost by 34. They lost by 50. So, you know, pros and cons with a loss. But let's talk about it. The Buffalo Bills walked into Washington 2-0, and they walked out 3-0.
1-1.
Absolutely outclassed us. Let me talk about it. Josh Allen, 20 of 32, 218 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. So, damn good game from him. They were running the ball like crazy. James Cook, 15 for 98. We were stuffing the run early on in that game. And for whatever we said, let's open up the floodgates and let him. Josh Allen, 3 for 46. Our defense cannot stop a mobile quarterback to save their life. They can't catch a cold. If this was the middle of winter, they're going in and out of a hot room. Latavius Murray had 5 for 15 and a touchdown. Damian Harris, 5 and 15. Like, between Josh Allen, Murray, and Harris, they had 90 yards by themselves. James Cook had another 98. So we gave up, let's call it 200 yards rushing. Don't get me started on receiving. Diggs, 8 for 111. Gabe Davis, 1 for 35 and a touchdown. Sherfield, 2 for 18. Hardy, 2 for 15. Cook, 2 for 14. Knox, 1 for 11. Murray, 1 for 6. Khalil Shakir, 1 for 5. Dalton Kincaid, 2 for 3. Like, you would have thought this was Oprah. Everyone gets a reception. Everyone gets their shine. Like, this was absolutely ridiculous. And their defense, if you had them on fantasy, you might have gotten 20-something points. We gave up, what was it, 9 sacks? 9 sacks.
4 interceptions.
For negative 45 yards and an interception. Are you kidding? Like, Terrell Bernard, 2 sacks and 2 QB hits. You had Daquan Jones, a sack and a half and a tackle for loss. Ed Oliver, a sack and a half, tackle for loss. Christian Benford, tackle for loss. Leonard Floyd, 2 sacks and tackle for loss. Greg Rousseau, a sack and a tackle for loss. AJ Epinesa, tackle, loss, and a pick 6. AJ Epinesa had the pick 6 for 32 yards. Tre'Davious White, 1 interception. Micah Hyde, 1 interception. Terrell Bernard, 1 interception. If you're playing fantasy football and you had individual players and you just so happen to have Terrell Bernard, you might have gotten 50 points off him alone. This was absolutely atrocious. Chris, I'm going to start with you. What was your just reaction about that game?
Embarrassing. 100%. Yeah, we were 2-0. Yes, we played 2 okay teams the past 2 weeks. But what does Washington always do anytime they are going on a run or anything like that? They said it at the beginning of the game yesterday.
Play down to the competition.
Washington believes their own hype. And what did we do? We believed our own hype. We had our defensive line, or our defense had 10 sacks coming into the game yesterday. So you're thinking, all right, this defense is going to do something, because they was also hyping up the defense. And guess what happened? We couldn't even get to Josh Allen.
Had a goose egg.
Like, how are we supposed to be this elite defense if we can't even get to their quarterback? Yes, their offensive line is good, but my God, come on. literally the 3rd and 8 Buffalo had on their opening drive. Emmanuel Forbes has to knock that ball away. You know, he's in position too, by the way. Thank you very much. They shouldn't have even gotten a field goal on that drive.
And by the way, we were lucky to hold them to that field goal. We were
Yeah,
lucky.
we were 100%. I just want to ask this though, Eric Bieniemy. I get you want to pass a lot, okay? I really do. I get you want to pass a lot, you know, but you don't have Patrick Mahomes or Alex Smith like you did in Kansas City. And so then you look at Brian Robinson's stats: 10 rushes for 70 yards. Why aren't we continuing to run the ball with Brian Robinson Jr.? Why? And Antonio Gibson, you lucky you not cut, dude. You lucky you not cut. Because if I was a coach, I would have cut you after the game last night. I would have. I don't care, bro.
Trade him. Get some value out of him. Let's trade him.
Nah, forget trading him. I cut him. 2 fumbles in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Embarrassing.
This man got hands just for decoration.
And see now, because of this loss yesterday, it pisses me off. Because we only put 3 points on the board. 3 points when we should have put a whole lot more.
And those were even quality. Those were pity points. When they kicked that field goal, there was 46 seconds left in the 4th.
Exactly. Embarrassing 100%. So what do you think, if Buffalo did that to us, what do you think Philly's going to do on Sunday against us?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the end of my rant. Andrew, what you got, man?
Now it's time for my rant.
Yeah, let's go.
Man, this was the definition of a huge shot to our morale. Obviously, starting off 2-0 is great and all, but the problem with that is we were overconfident. We looked like we were playing at 50% effort. Looked like our defense was just playing loose, letting them pick up easy yards every play. Looked like our defensive line didn't want to get to Josh Allen, like they were just there to play, pick up their paycheck. I mean, we were all way more optimistic than maybe we should have been, but I feel like a good game isn't that far out of the realm of possibilities. But instead, that's what happened. And if you look at the numbers, you're going to see, Sam Howell had 0 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. And yes, it was god-awful. I 100% agree with you. And I'm not going to deny that he did not have an absolutely horrendous game. But we also need to look at the contributors to that as well, which we've talked a lot about, putting our tackles on absolute islands who have absolutely 0 skill or ability to protect Sam, and then giving up 9 sacks. And here's the stat that I think is even worse than giving up 9 sacks. Sam being pressured on 80% of dropbacks. 80%, guys.
Essentially 80%, yeah.
Anything over 50 is horrendous.
Yeah.
80%.
Yeah, I have a stat for that once you're done.
You can put Patrick Mahomes with our offensive line, and we still would not have had a chance to win that game. Not a chance. Absolutely awful. And yeah, you can also go after Eric Bieniemy. I agree. He should have been running the ball more. B-Rob averaged 7 yards a carry. You should have recognized that. But there's also 2 ways to look at that. The fact that he wants to throw it means that he trusts Sam a lot. And from an experienced and I say trustworthy offensive coordinator, I think that goes to show a lot that he trusts him enough to be throwing the ball that much when our running back is doing as well as he is. And there's also the fact that, Gibby's back to his old self, fumbling every single game and costing us points, turnovers. I I think he is a very talented running back who can get you a lot of yards in a season. He's 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah.
If you use him right, outside runs, put him in space, he's going
him open
to
field.
do really well for you.
Yeah.
But his one thing that he cannot seem to get rid of is ball security. And in our offense, that always comes first. That we've shown that through returning punts and kicks. We've shown that through essentially benching him for B-Rob as our starter.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't even getting the ball that much. He got a few snaps and immediately, boom, he fumbled it.
Yeah.
This was an awful game, and there's a lot of things to correct, but it starts with our offensive line, which has been our biggest problem for a long time, and
Yep.
Raw needs to address it.
Yeah. So I have some stats from Next Gen Stats. Shout out to them. This is them. You were right. It's about 80%. The Bills pressured Sam Howell on 27 of 39 dropbacks. That's a 69.2% percentage. So yeah, so let's call it 70% because you're right. It's 80, it's really 70. That is the second highest pressure rate in a game in the Next Gen Stats era. They've been out for a few years. They had 7 different Bills generate 4+ pressures. Greg Rousseau and Leonard Floyd had 5. Epinesa also had 5. She had 3 guys with 5. Shaq Lawson had 6. And Oliver had 7. So what's that math? You're talking 15, 28 QB pressures. 28. And that's your second highest. Atrocious, abysmal. You said it, Tim, last week, and he was live streaming that game. Shout out to our guy Tim. He was saying it. Josh Taylor on X was saying it. Rio has been saying it. Tony's been saying it. Justin's been saying it.
Everybody's been saying
Everyone's been saying it. You do not put Andrew Wiley and Chris Leno or
Charles
Leno. You do not put Charles Leno Jr. and Andrew Wiley on an island. You will get absolutely destroyed. It is about time. Fans are calling for Trent Scott and Cornelius Lucas to take over tackle, and some people are saying you put Sam Cosmi back at tackle. It's gone that bad. Andrew Wiley was supposed to come in and secure this side. Was supposed to secure the left tackle position. I was calling into the offseason and say, hey, get Andrew Wiley. He's familiar with EB. You had a damn mobile quarterback in Mahomes with a strong arm. You have someone who's a little bit less mobile than Mahomes. So all you're asking is for an extra 2 seconds to hold on to your blocks. What does he do? Give up sacks. Like this is stripper money. He's just throwing out, letting everyone come in. You would have thought this man was a bouncer in a Las Vegas strip club. Everybody's coming in. It was atrocious. Do you want to know how bad this got? Rags_no riches on X, and then quote tweeted by Nikki Jahavala on X. Shout out to you guys, and sorry if I botched the name. They brought up, Bills players were interviewed obviously after the game, like everyone is, and they mentioned how vulnerable the old line was and how Sam's tendency holds onto the ball way too long. So this is from Terrell Bernard, the guy who had 2 sacks and a pick and a fumble recovery. Ready for what he has to say? So for what they saw Sam to help them make a play on the ball, he said, yeah, just quarterback vision, especially in our zone coverages. We knew that he liked to get his targets early in their progression. So that was something that we thought we could go in and steal stuff. And it played out in the game. When he's getting pressure from the D-line and guys are in his face, he doesn't have time to look off and go through full progressions. So we thought we had a chance to take some. He's right. And he followed up on talking about how Sam stays locked onto his first read in his progression. Yeah, I think so. Obviously, the pressure from the D-line helps a lot, but he just doesn't seem to go through his full progressions. There's no 1, 2, 3 check down with him. He's just kind of locking onto his guy early and then waiting for them to get open for him and then get open enough for him to get the throw in there. And that's how that's how the plays are made. He's exactly right. There was nothing he could do. They were in his face, all up in his girl. He could have brushed his teeth with the Bills players for how much they were up his ass. It was horrific. The tackles don't know how to guard anybody. You want to know who our 5 biggest graded players were from PFF?
Wow.
Kendall Fuller was the first one with a 92.1. Brian Robinson, 82.8. Sam Cosme, who didn't give up a sack, Sam Cosme, 80.2. Percy Butler with an 80.1. And Jerron Payne with a 70.7. That is atrocious. That is abysmal. And one more stat before we move on to some film study, because I know I got film for you guys.
I'll throw one in there as well after you.
Yeah. Andrew, you pointed out. Grant Paulson pointed out. Commander's Hub on Facebook pointed it out. In the 3 regular season games this season Sam has started, we've given up 19 tackles. He has 6 more sacks on him than Justin Fields. He is on pace for 108 sacks in a season. You were about to pull it up too.
That's what I was going to say.
You were about to pull it, yeah.
Rush the district on X, yeah.
108. So mind you, we played 17 games in a regular season. 108 divided by 17 is 6.35 sacks. So let's call it 6 sacks, a nice even 6 sacks.
That's bad, guys.
That gets us to 102. If you call it 7 sacks, that gets to 119. 6.5, because there's no half sacks when it comes to the quarterback. There's 1 or there's 2. So he is on pace to have triple-digit sacks.
John, you're leaving out the second part of that stat, which I think is even more scary.
Go ahead.
The NFL all-time record for sacks in a singular season is 76. We could beat it by 30.
Yeah. Yep.
Let that sink in for a second.
Yep. And remember, Philly had 70, if not 72, last season. And they had 9 on Carson Wentz. I think they had another 4 on Heineke. So if you take out those 12 or 13 sacks, they get into the 50s or 60s. Our offensive line looked better last year than it does this year. I mean, we're supposed to do upgraded.
Oh no.
You drafted Braden Daniels, but he's on IR, so I'll give him. I can't even use him because he's on IR, and best wishes to him. You drafted Stromberg, who was supposedly the best run stopper, blocker in the SEC. You picked up Wiley. You kept Leno. You picked up Gates. You did all these things. And we're on pace to have triple-digit sacks. We have 19. We are averaging almost 7. It's like 6.3. Let's call it 7 sacks a game. I don't remember a guy like Kyle Orton having this many sacks. I don't remember Peyton Manning his last year in Denver having this many sacks. I don't ever remembering Brock Osweiler RG3 having this many sacks. Joe Theismann having this many sacks. I don't remember David Carr having this many sacks, and he was sacked a shit ton in Houston. I think that's the record, right? Is the David Carr 2005 Texans?
I have absolutely no idea.
I think it is.
Yes, it is.
And we're about to blow him out the water. In 2023, you do not have an offensive line and have that many sacks. You have 6 more sacks than Justin Fields, and they are an 0-3 team. You could have had DeJuan Jones in the 3rd. You still could have had Stromberg. You could have had Stromberg in the 3rd, DeJuan in the Jones. You still could have picked up Braden Daniels in the 5th. And DeJuan Jones looks like an absolute baller with Cleveland. But no, you needed a safety in Martin. You needed another edge rusher in KJ Henry. You needed another running back in Chris Rodriguez. You pass on Osiris Torrance. You pass on John Michael Schmitz. You could have traded up for Broderick Jones. But no. This offensive line looks absolutely putrid, unacceptable. I can't even go into words how bad this O-line is.
I've got a little bit more to add, but is Chris still alive down there?
Chris, you live?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'm just quiet, you know. I mean, this team's lost, you know, embarrassing. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off 100%. And you know what I have to do tomorrow? I have to go to school.
Gotta go to school.
And you know what the problem with that is? I'm not going to be in a happy mood because my team decided to give up 9 damn sacks, give up 37 damn points, 6 of which came from Sam Howell. I can't be too mad at Howell because it was like his only 4th start. Okay,
Yeah,
so I can't be too mad at him.
So this is true rookie season.
Yeah. You know who would have at least kept us in the game if we still had a certain name? Yeah, you know, I think his name was Taylor Heineke.
No, what would happen is he would have
yes.
had 2 fumbles to add on.
No. Because I believe in my man's Heineke, all right? My man's Heineke would have at least been able to take off and run like Howard did a little bit yesterday. But guess what? We can't seem to do that either. Because you know what? This offensive line, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say it's some shit.
Yeah. Andrew, you want anything?
I don't think we should get too narrow-minded on the offensive line here. I think we've summed them up pretty well. But the other huge aspect to this is Sam and how that's going to affect him. Because I think all 3 of us here are huge believers in him, even after this game, unlike a lot of idiots who are saying we should put Jacoby in. Oh, no. That we don't
draft Caleb Williams.
Whenever someone has a bad game, that's stupid. We're too used to the last 20 years of quarterback switching. On those tweets disgusted me. I mean, he's going to get beat up. There's no way he's going to finish this season or stay healthy if he's getting hit 20 times a game. There's talk about whether he got concussed after that run where he ran into all those players.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he's holding his hand and stuff, but there's also he kind of hit his head hard there too. There's just no way that if we want him to be our guy, the Washington quarterback for the next bunch of years, there's absolutely no possible way that happens if we cannot protect him and keep him healthy behind the offensive line. This isn't even talking about winning or stats or anything. This is protecting our quarterback from getting seriously injured. And I have doubts that we're going to be able to do that. And I'm actually really, really worried for him. It's not safe. And it's honestly sad. It's just so sad if this is how our season is going to go. I mean, next week we play the Eagles defensive line. Should we do sack projections for that?
I think
They're
we'll
better than the Bills defensive line, guys.
Yeah. Chris, I know you just pointed it out, but I'm pointing it out for you. Chris brought it up. He will become the next Andrew Luck.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thought it was going to be Joe Burrow because the Bengals offensive line the past few years hasn't been able to protect
I'll
him.
take the Bengals offensive line right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They made it to a Super Bowl and an AFC Championship.
Yep.
And we can't seem to make it into the wild card.
Jeez, I wonder why. The offensive line is
guys.
Offensive line, suspect play calling. We all had high hopes for
Eric. We really did.
Now, yes, it's only 3 regular season games in, and we have 3 preseason games in. Yes, it is still early. But this does not give you hope. If they had only gotten 4 sacks, I think we all could have said, sounds right for this offensive line. 4 sacks, that's about their average. 9, atrocious, abysmal. And we haven't even talked about these interceptions yet. We haven't even talked. Let's get into those interceptions.
All right.
Burgundy Ballers, I have got some film study for you all. Shout out to STX on YouTube. This man had everything I was looking for, so prayers out to you. And you know what? I'm on my YouTube channel, and I'll do it on the BIB YouTube channel. I'm gonna hit subscribe. And you guys better subscribe here at BIB if you want some hot Commanders content every single week, 2 times a week, especially if we get into these playoffs, it's gonna get hot. But let's talk about it. So I've muted all the videos just because I don't want to get copyrighted. But this is the first interception. This was the first quarter, the first drive for the Commanders. Let's watch it. Look at that. Defense in his face, right into Terrell Bernard. He was looking for De'Ami Brown. I'm going to rewind that. So look how many guys are in your face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming to you.
He could have checked it down to Gibson right there, or he could have taken up or like ran up the hole there, and maybe have at least gotten some yards.
Yep. But no, he threw it up for Terrell Bernard, who people forget. I think Terrell Bernard was a basketball player in college as well, so he's got some hops. Showed it right there. Move on to the second one. In the second quarter, they're already up 13-0. 3rd and 2. Takes the ball, gets a snap, 4-man rush, and Micah Hyde jumps in front of Gibson.
You just gotta throw that one away at that point. Like
throw it away, or throw it faster.
Yeah,
because he just loosely threw that up.
That or duck around the guy that's jumping, duck around him, and then you could have easily picked up the first down there. Yeah.
So just one more time. I want to show you how lightly he threw. Look at that ball. He threw that with some just reckless abandonment. Just threw that up. Third. Go to Andrew.
He saw the pressure, and he knew he had to get it out to his flat, which I believe was Gibson there, right?
Gibson, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But there's just absolutely no way that that's a safe pass.
No.
When you have a guy in your face and you have a guy right on Gibson, and if you throw it that soft, it's just impossible to actually.
There was no zip on that ball.
No, that needs to be thrown out.
Yeah. So we're still in the third quarter, mind you. So we have an interception in the first, the second. Let's move on to the third quarter.
Yeah.
First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. We make it all the way down to the red zone. We're on the 15, 2nd and 8. Instead of running the ball, what do?
We throw it in. Yay.
He throws it 4-man rush. And
okay, so I want you to go. Can you go back a little?
Yes.
All right, play it. Now stop. You see who's right there? I believe that's Jahan Dotson right there.
Here?
Yes. He could have easily just threw it right to him.
First down. Maybe touchdown.
Maybe first down.
First down, touchdown. Or if they went to 3rd and 2, could run the ball. Or if you're going to pick it up, you kick the field goal.
And this is just Sam not going through his progressions and seeing Jahan. He's locked on. He wants the big play. He wants the touchdown.
Yep.
But then soon enough, he gets pressured.
Yeah.
Bad throw. He's on him.
Yeah. Well, look, so he gets somewhat covered here. Jahan gets somewhat covered here. But even still, he had time here for him to cross over. And because if he threw it to either one of these two, it probably was going to get picked. But yeah, Tre'Davious White jumps in front of, who's that? Robinson? Curtis Samuel, right in front of him.
So basically, he jumped the route there, but Howell also has to go through his progressions there. And he should have been like, all right, I can't throw it there, to be honest.
Yep.
Or when Curtis cuts out, does the out before going up, he could have threw it right there and could have had him.
Yeah. And think about this. They're only rushing 4.
Yeah.
They're not rushing 5. They're not sending this is a 4-man rush.
Yeah.
4-man rush. Now let's hop into the fourth quarter. We've had an interception every single quarter of this game. You would have thought this man was Jameis Winston, the way he was throwing these picks. You thought this would have been a Razor Ramon commercial, the way he was throwing picks. God rest his soul. So fourth quarter, 3rd and 5. You see how much we're protecting, right?
Yes.
You have 5. So they're only rushing 4. I'm gonna get out of that. I don't know why it blew up in my face, but I'm gonna.
You could have threw it right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna slow down the playback speed. I'm gonna slow it down, baby. And I'm gonna rewind just for you guys to watch this, right? So you see, he takes a snap. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 blitzing, a normal 4-man rush, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, normally you would have Robinson chip, right? Raise your hand if you thought Robinson would chip here. Like what we did last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would have
John, pause in the same spot as you did before. I want to point out something there too.
If I can get this just right. So 1, 2, 3. He's getting double teamed.
He could have checked it down to who is that right there?
Gibson here.
Gibson, and then he could have threw it underneath right there
To
to
Jihad.
yeah.
But
He
look,
has 3 good options here. He can run for the ball down the field and pick up some yards. He is whoever that is, that Dotson open. Or he
Dodson
can
right in front of him.
and Gibson, who can pick it up down the sideline.
Yep.
He has 3 solid options.
Now look. Go ahead.
And that he just throws the interception.
So look, you have, I think this is Leonard Floyd in the back getting blocked. You have this guy getting blocked, Spus getting blocked. You have, I think this is Gates or Stromberg or whoever was playing center or right guard looking clueless, looking like he was naked in an open field. He didn't know what to do. So normally you would think Sam, all right, I'm gonna give you guys 3 options and I want you to raise your hand. So option A, you check down to Gibson. B, Dotson, or C, you run the ball. Raise your hand if you think any one of those 3 was a good idea.
Yeah.
And what happens?
He's
running, throws the ball
does too much.
right to AJ Epinesa.
Yeah,
And
he
what
does
he
too
go down
much.
for? Look at that. Gets beat for a pick 6. I'm gonna rewind this all the way back. All righty. Back this up a little bit. So look, Epinesa, I think, is here. And I have this on 720K quality, so it could be just my computer. You have Epinesa here. You throw this ball any earlier, that's a first down. But oh no, it was right here. Epinesa was over here. I'll take that back. Epinesa was over here. But instead he steps in front of who knows. And your offensive line looking tired, pick 6. That brings him to 30-0. With 10 minutes left. Epinesa, I know, played college basketball because they pointed it out. The announcers pointed it out. I think Tim pointed it out. I forget who else pointed it out on Twitter. Epinesa played basketball. So you thought you were going to lob it over. Just a layup. This man's got hops. And you thought it was a good idea.
You know what the embarrassing thing is about our defense yesterday? After it was already 30-0, what did the Bills do? A, take out their first stringers, or B, keep them in? I'm going to go with option A. Oh, you know why I went with option A? Because their second stringers decided to score on our first string defense.
Yep.
How embarrassing.
That's how Latavius Murray got his ball.
Yeah.
That's how
I
Latavius
mean,
Murray
that's
got his ball.
embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's our first string defense. Our first string defense that's supposed to be elite.
Yep.
And they let that happen.
So get ready for this, right? They had 2 rushing touchdowns. Josh Allen throws a touchdown.
Yes.
And there's the pick 6.
Okay.
So there's 28. They cooked like 3 field goals.
Yeah. They kicked a field goal. And
Yep.
then they scored a touchdown and then kicked another field goal. So the thing about that touchdown, okay, cool, it's zone coverage. But guess what? Kendall Fuller, you need to go with him all the way to the corner of your edge on the zone coverage. Not just let him run, literally go and let him go by you.
Yeah.
Yes, the safety should have been over the top, but guess what? You should have went with him all the way because you knew Josh Allen was probably going to throw that right to him.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm Kendall Fuller, yes, he's been in the league for only 7 years, but dude, ever since he's came back, he had the interceptions, last year and
No, yeah, they
2020.
last year, and he had one in this game.
Yeah. But if we're being honest, Kendall Fuller is getting old. I think it's time for him to hang it up. I'm not gonna lie.
He's getting old, but right now he's our best corner outside of Juice. Like Juice made some plays.
Yeah, St. Juice did make some plays. The thing with St. Juice that pissed me off yesterday is that one of the routes, Josh Allen did a 3-step drop back, threw the ball right to Stephon Diggs on a slant. Where is St. Juice going? Because clearly he wasn't with him. He was still going straight.
Yep.
I mean, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It really is.
We are playing this 7-yard off the ball coverage.
We need to be tight. We need to be on man every play, the whole game.
Yep.
Instead of the zone stuff.
Yeah. So remember, in the Denver game, we had 10 drives, right? Because I listed them out, 10 drives. We had 11 drives this game. You want to know how these ended?
Interception. Field goal.
No.
No.
Oh, ready for this? So again, shout out Nikki Javala. I'm bad with names, guys, but you guys will see the tweet when I edit this. First drive, interception. Second drive, you punt. Third drive, turnover on downs. Fourth drive, interception. End of the half. So you had 4 drives in the first half, 2 interceptions, a punt, and a turnover on downs. The second half, interception, punt, Gibson fumble, interception, another punt, field goal with 50 seconds left.
Pity points.
We had as many punts as we had points. You would have thought Buffalo was Randy Orton 2008, and we were some legends because they killed us. They had us punting like nobody's business.
You know what the crazy thing is? Washington managed to score the same amount of points as the Capitals and the Nationals.
Hockey and baseball.
Another crazy stat. We had double the amount of turnovers as we had points.
Yep.
6 turnovers, 3 points.
Yep.
I tell you what, this team needs to tighten up going into Philly.
You want to know what the saddest thing was? The saddest thing was?
Go ahead, break it down.
This was the alumni homecoming game.
Oh, yeah.
We had 150 alumni there? Some of that? You saw videos from Anthony Armstrong. Shout out to Mr. Armstrong. He's a guest on our show, and you have seen some more of that. You guys had London Fletcher. You had Theismann, I think. I think you had Dale Green. I think you had 150 alumni. They were handing out posters, banners. I think they were handing out towels. They were making a big, big deal. I think Jackie Taylor, Sean Taylor's daughter, was there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anytime Washington does do those games, we always end up losing, or even just honoring somebody. I mean, look at last year. We barely got the win against Atlanta when we did the whole Sean Taylor statue. When we did Sonny Jurgensen, I mean, we beat Dallas, but if we're being real, Dallas already knew they was going to the playoffs.
Yeah, but they didn't they didn't rest their starters. They didn't.
They didn't.
They were fighting for the first seed.
Yeah,
they were. They were. I'm not gonna deny that, but they was like, you know what? We don't care. You know, yeah, we playing our Saturdays, but guess what? We still going to playoffs.
Yeah, but
You know,
we still won those games.
that's
We
true.
absolutely embarrassed. You would have thought we were a $5 hooker. We got bent over. This
Yeah.
game. Josh
It's
Allen,
embarrassing.
the Bill. Ever since we beat the Bills in that one Super Bowl, they have been our daddy. They have owned us. Aaron
They
Rodgers,
are,
Green Bay owns the Bears. The Bills own Washington.
they are 8-1 against us. You know, the only win that we've beaten them with?
Was that Super Bowl?
No. Since the Super Bowl,
Oh, since Super Bowl?
they are 8-1. The one win we have had against them was in a time where we had Jay Gruden, Kirk Cousins, and I think this is when we had Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, you're
That's the
talking a
last
while
time.
ago.
Good
Yeah.
team.
That's the last time we've won.
Atrocious.
Mm.
Guys, you see the disgust, the sadness on our faces. Normally, when it comes to a loss, we're like, okay, yeah, we got some bright spots on the team. We played some good football. There was nothing. You saw how I listed
the whole time.
the drives. We had 11 drives. 4 of those were interceptions. 3 of those were punts. A fumble, a turnover on downs, the field goal. And I'm missing one. Because there was one that was set. Oh, yeah, end of that.
We were all optimistic enough that we were going to be like okay with it if we just put up a fight or if it was like a somewhat close game. I think we all would have been okay with that.
We all had this within a 3 to 5 point game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would have taken that. I would have loved to go 3-0, of course. Absolutely. But I would have been okay if we put up a good fight.
Yeah. If this was 37-20, yeah, it still would have been a 17-point loss. But we scored points. We made them defend. If Sam Howell had 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, I'd be like, not the greatest, but he's a rookie QB. But no, yes, he's a rookie QB, but you can't get away with 4 interceptions. Who do you, Zach Wilson? Jameis Winston?
Justin Fields.
No, even Fields looks better, and that's the problem.
Yes. No, he did that last
looks
week.
You got to
better.
play him in 10
Everyone.
days. You got to play him in 10 days.
If we look this bad against Philly and Chicago, pack it up. Ron's got to go. Ron is coaching for his life.
Yeah.
This game might have started to help on the decline. Yes, it's only 3 games in. Yes, you guys out there are viewers, and we love every single one of you. Might say in the comments, man, they're overreacting. You would
We're
have thought
still 2-1.
you're still 2-1. You would have thought this is the Pat McAfee show with overreaction Monday. Yes, because we had hope. We had some guts. 3-0 in the preseason. 2-0 to start the season. We said, "Oh man, we back, baby, man." If we can just keep this up, we can win 9, 10 games. And then this game happened. And we brought it right down. We are hurt. You guys are 5 seconds away to seeing 3 dudes under 22 years old cry. Because this is ridiculous. We got to play Philly.
I'm not crying. I'm just get pissed off.
You were crying that night. Don't deny it. You were crying that night.
No, I wasn't crying. I was pissed off. Just don't catch me on a bad week, especially if we lose to Philly or Dallas. Don't catch me then.
There is a possibility we lose the next 2.
Bears is winnable.
Bears is beatable, very beatable, but we can lose to Philly.
We will.
The way we look, we can lose.
Hey, you gotta have that faith.
No, not after this week. 0. We are not being.
No faith. God, no faith. Because this was ridiculous. 4 interceptions, 9 sacks. We only had 2 penalties. Whoa.
Whoa, yes.
Stop the presses, hold the phone. We had only 2 penalties. My
That's
God,
crazy.
my God. One more penalty, we would have the same amount of penalties we had points. That's how sad it is. That is we had as many points as DeMar Hamlin's jersey number. We had as many points as the season we went in to get RG3. 3-13. That is sad.
Yep.
That is atrocious. So hopefully next episode, you guys will see. This episode obviously our reactions. Hopefully next episode you see is our predictions for week 4, and we're a bit more optimistic. We got a bit more energy, but right now this is Misery Monday, Terrible Tuesday, ridiculous. Whenever you guys see this, just put whatever synonym you want to put with terrible, miserable, mid, and whatever the day of week it is, and that's the day. You would have thought this was Infinity War, where Thanos won and said, and snap. You would have thought this was that. You would have thought that just got us out of there. You would have thought we just saw Darth Vader and Rogue One hallway scene just zoom and kill us. But no, this is football. This is real life. So, any good thing you guys want to add before we wrap this up?
Nothing good.
I don't know what to say.
That's exactly how we feel. We don't know what to say, but guys, that will wrap things up here on episode 41, our week 3 reactions. Don't forget to like and subscribe here on the channel. Head over to the Ballin and Burgundy podcast, Instagram and TikTok. Go follow us over there. Go like our posts over there. Go follow all 4 of us on Instagram. Links are down in the description and here on the banner. Shout out to Rio, Tony, Sanchez, Royce on the Daily, all of our sponsors for supporting us basically since day 1. We've had 10 months of this, and it's been an absolute grand time. But let's go into the week. Let's go prepare for Philly. You guys will see this hopefully on Tuesday. Handle those Commanders. EB and offensive line, you better shape the fuck up. And don't forget to stay balling. We'll see y'all out there.